Hi, welcome to another lesson in arithmetic. The previous lesson was about the definition of multiplication. This time, we will be talking about the properties of multiplication. What are the properties of multiplication? Let us begin our lesson with this example. Is 2 times 3 equal to 3 times 2? To answer this question, let us consider the visual representation below. 2 times 3 means combining two groups of 3. If we, for example, have oranges, that means we have two groups of oranges and each group has 3 oranges. If you count the oranges, you will see that the total number of oranges is 6. 2 times 3 is, therefore, equal to 6. 3 times 2 means combining 3 groups of 2. Using oranges again, this means we have 3 groups of oranges and each group has 2 oranges. If you count the oranges, you will see that the total number of oranges is also 6. 3 times 2 is, therefore, equal to 6. 2 times 3 is, therefore, equal to 3 times 2. And both are equal to 6. In multiplication, the multiplier and the multiplicand are also called factors. The above example describes the commutative property of multiplication. The commutative property of multiplication states that the order in which the factors are multiplied does not affect the product. Examples: 2 times 4 is equal to 4 times 2. And both are equal to 8. 5 times 6 is equal to 6 times 5. And both are equal to 30. 2 times 7 times 3 is equal to 3 times 2 times 7. And both are equal to 42. And 1 times 2 times 3 is equal to 3 times 1 times 2. And both are equal to 6. What about this next example? 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3 times 4 can also be written as the quantity of 2 times 3 times 4. 2 and 3 are grouped. This means 2 and 3 have to be multiplied first. 2 times 3 equals 6. The expression then becomes 6 times 4, and this is equal to 24. 2 times 3 times 4 can also be written as 2 times the quantity of 3 times 4. 3 and 4 are grouped. This means 3 and 4 have to be multiplied first. 3 times 4 equals 12. The expression then becomes 2 times 12, and this is equal to 24. Therefore, the quantity of 2 times 3 times 4 is equal to 2 times the quantity of 3 times 4. This describes the associative property of multiplication. The associative property of multiplication states that the grouping of factors in multiplication does not affect the product. Let us answer these examples. 3 times 1. 3 times 1 equals 3. 1 times 5. 1 times 5 equals 5. What have you observed? Any number multiplied by 1 or vice versa is equal to the number. This is the multiplicative property. This means 1 is a multiplicative identity. Next. 3 times 0. 3 times 0 equals 0. 0 times 5. 0 times 5 equals 0. What have you observed? Any number multiplied by 0 or vice versa is equal to 0. This is the zero property of multiplication. Welcome to Hippocampus Learning Videos. If you are enjoying the Hippocampus Learning videos, please give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when new learning videos are added to the channel. Hippocampus ETV is also on Patreon. Please check it out. Happy learning! Let us solve this problem. 3 shelves of 2 levels have 10 jams stored on each level. How many stored jams are there? In problems like this, it is important to identify the groups. In this problem, the given are: first, a group of shelves. There are 3 shelves. Second, with each shelf, there is another group. With each shelf are 2 levels. And lastly, each level has 10 jams. How many jams in total are there? This example can be solved in multiple ways depending on what you think is easier. But in the meantime, let's solve using the properties of multiplication. The solution therefore is 3 times 2 times 10 is equal to the number of jams. Or applying the commutative property, 3 times 2 times 10 equals 10 times 3 times 2. And both are equal to 60. Applying the associative property, 3 times 2 times 10 is equal to the quantity of 3 times 2 times 10, and this is also equal to 3 times the quantity of 2 times 10. The left expression then becomes 6 times 10, while the right expression becomes 3 times 20. 6 times 10 equals 60. 3 times 20 equals 60. Both are equal to 60. The number of jams therefore is 60. It's time for Learn Checks. Let us identify which property of multiplications the following describes. 10 times 4 equals 4 times 10. Commutative property. Yes. Associative property. No. Multiplicative property. No. Zero property. No. Next. 3 times the quantity of 2 times 9 equals the quantity of 3 times 9 times 2. Commutative property. Yes. 2 and 9 switched orders. Associative property. Yes. Different grouping has been made. Multiplicative property. No. Zero property. No. Next. 1 times 4 times the quantity of 5 times 2 equals 2 times the quantity of 4 times 5 times 1. Commutative property. Yes. 2 and 1 switched orders. Associative property. Yes. A different grouping has been made. Multiplicative property. Yes. 1 times the product of the other 3 factors is equal to the product of the other 3 factors. Zero property. No. Next. 6 times the quantity of 7 times 0 equals the quantity of 7 times 6 times 0. Commutative property. Yes. 7 and 6 switched orders. Associative property. Yes. A different grouping has been made. Multiplicative property. No. Zero property. Yes. The answer to these expressions is 0. That concludes our lesson about the properties of multiplication. Thank you for joining and learning with us. We hope you continue studying and continue watching these hippocampus learning videos. The next lesson will be about mastering the multiplication table. That lesson will provide you tips and tricks on how to easily master the multiplication table. See you in that lesson. Happy learning!